How are you doing? We are starting to record. I want to get this, we want to kick this party off right. It has been a minute. The last time we were together, it was a wellness moment. You were being fed that day. I hope you all can recall, for those of you who were able to attend, and you're still sitting in it. It's still resonating with you. I hope a lot of the things that you received in our last meeting when we were together in July um, propelled you forward through what has been a very, very, very busy, full, and fulfilling summer. Now we're on the back end, rolling into a new season. And what better way to kick off a new season with new mindset, new energy, and new reflection and focus? And today we have a treat for you. And, I don't really have to do a whole lot of introduction. I'll save that for tomorrow. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of introductions in the chat. So go ahead and light that chat up for me and tell everyone who you are, who your organization is. Throw your contact information in there if you want to, and then let us know if it's your first time attending. Just as we say in my good old, Baptist culture of, welcoming everyone. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome once, welcome twice, welcome 3 times. The task force meeting. Welcome to the Pierce County Community Engagement Task Force meeting. If Sam Bradshaw is on here, we're going to first do our acknowledgements. And then I'm going to turn it over to Tamar to help you navigate through the updates. And then we're going to roll into what is going to be another powerful session and connection for this community of great minds. And in retrospect, let us understand and know that as we set ourselves up to wrap up the year, this is the season of harvest, so that we are rolling into. So if you think about all of the things that you have done up until this part of the year, you've sown a lot. I've seen a lot of you moving. I've seen a lot of you investing. I've seen a lot of you plant a lot of great seed. And so a lot of you are starting to reap and see the growth. And so I just want to commend and support you on that. And when we close it out at the end, if there's anything left after the amazing, fabulous, that we're so grateful Melannie Cunningham gives us, we'll ride that on out until we meet again in November. So Sam, I will turn it over to you. And then from there, tomorrow you can take it. And then I will be back briefly. I will be back in a minute.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. We pay our respect to elders, both past and present, who have stewarded this land through generations. We also express our respect for all other displaced Indigenous peoples who call Pierce County home. These are the original homelands of the Nisqually, the Puyallup, the Squaxin, the Stilichum, and the Muckleshoot. It's important to move beyond acknowledgement and reflect on our own history that brought us to this place. This land acknowledgement is one small step in an ongoing commitment to improve our support of Indigenous communities in the area. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate you. Welcome back to September. If y'all were like me, I had to adjust my schedule. I was up at 5:15 this morning, getting my little 7th grader ready to hit school. It was crazy, but I was talking to Kelly and we both had to agree that the first day of school is parent summer break. That is 6 hours. We ain't got to deal with you, worry about you. We're going to go ahead and send that over to other people so we can really do the things that we want to do. Anybody know of adult day camp, let me know, because I'm trying to join y'all there. We're going to make it happen. This is our time now. We got 8 months to do what we want to do without the kids, except for breaks and stuff. But everyone, welcome. Man, as you guys know, we had the blackout month in August, and really that was a time for us to just sit back, take what we've learned over the last year, take the lessons, take the hurt, take it all, sit in it for a minute, but just know when we came back to September that we were ready to get it rocking again and do some great things. I can personally tell you over my breakout month, or my blackout month, actually, it was a lot of time where I got to sit and really figure out that I don't have to be great and I don't have to be on at all times. And I think a lot of us feel that because we always feel that we have to be on at all times. What I have realized is that when you put yourself around a team they can be great at the moments that you're not great, and they can hold you up during the times that you just got to shut down. We all have to shut down, and very blessed to be able to have a team that, I can do that, and looking at it, we've always been focused on work-life balance. Everyone knows that work-life balance. And I've realized through mentorship, I've realized through leadership, I've realized through coaching that it's life work balance. And that's why today is so important to me, because if your life is not correct, then the work cannot be balanced. And for so long, we focus on making work perfect. And then we're drained so much that by the time we get to real life, we don't have it to give to those that allow us to do the things that we do so brilliantly in this world. So with that being said, I really want you guys to just relax, hone in today. It's going to be a lot of great things getting ready to happen. We're going to go through some updates real quick, and then I got the honor to introduce an amazing individual that I know both professionally and personally. And when we talk about what this looks like, I couldn't ask nobody else. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sam Bradshaw so he can let you guys know a little bit about the Small Business Voice Committee, what's going to be happening, what he's going to need from everybody, and we're going to keep it moving. Go ahead, Sam. It's on you, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Tamar. So wanted to really quickly just take a minute or so to talk about the Small Business Engagement Committee. We're looking to build a quorum of small businesses to learn from one another and help each other grow and prosper, right? We're looking to be essentially the hub for small businesses here in Pierce County to connect them to different resources, groups. If you or you know someone who is interested in joining, shoot us an email, businesssolutions@workforcecentral.org. It's as simple as that. We're going to be building the kind of starting list now with those contacts, with the intents of starting meetings towards the end of this month or the beginning of October, depending on how much interest we get. So yeah, just looking to start it small and help everyone grow and get to work with those businesses together.
See, Sam nicer than me. He said it all nice. Hey, we building the small business, all color, big thing, whatever it looks like. We building the United Nations of small business. Let's just keep it 100. That's where we getting ready to go in 2023. We about to change it up and see what it looks like, and just making sure that we're supporting those that really don't have a voice. We always listen to everybody's suggestions and recommendations. This was one that we continuously kept hearing. So we said, why not do it? Do it ourselves. And so that's something that's going to be brought out for you guys in businesses, for you guys that know small businesses. Please connect with Sam. He has some great things getting ready to happen. His team has some great things getting ready to happen. And again, we want to be here to support no matter what it is. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Kelly Blucher, my sidekick in a lot of this stuff. My other one you guys can't see, which is Chloe, but you guys will see her at some point. But Kelly, go ahead and let them know about Collaboration for a Cause, the good, the bad. Well, it's not really bad, but the good, the bad, and where we going. There ain't no bad. So it just sounded good to say it. It just sounded good to say it.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to just shout out to all the new faces that are on this meeting today. I've been meeting with so many of our partners throughout workforce development, of course, our Workforce Central partners, several of our one-stop partners, and sending out invites to the task force meeting. And I see several of you on here today. So excited that you can join us. Collaboration for a Cause. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We are almost there again, September 22nd. It will be held from 11 to 3 p.m. at UEI College on 72nd in Portland. That is formerly the old Goodwill building. So we will be outside there on the 22nd. What a ride it has been. Since I began here at Workforce Central, we've just done such an amazing job of really trying to integrate several different services into Collaboration for a Cause and making it even, I wouldn't say better, because everything I do is awesome anyway, but we just have a great flow going through the event. We're going to be able to connect people from all kinds of things, from basic needs to healthcare resources, mental health, addiction, workforce development, career education, training, employment. Of course, we have like a full young adult area now. And we just ordered like these new razor flags. If anybody's familiar with razor flags, it's really going to help us with the flow. this event and really directing participants and attendees that come there to different, different areas so that we make sure that everybody gets the services they need. And hopefully we're not seeing them back at the next Collaboration for a Cause. We're going to be able to continue to follow up with people and connect them. So we have a pretty limited space out there for everybody that's on here today. We do have a few more vendor spots. Reach out to me directly. I already put my email in the chat there, but just really excited. And first and foremost, we are looking for volunteers. Oh my goodness, we would like to have all kinds of volunteers for this event so that we're able to talk to every single attendee that comes and familiarize them with the different services and resources that we're offering there. And again, making sure people stay connected, really shifting the needle on moving people to stability and self-sufficiency in our community. So I need your help. Please join us. There is a meeting coming up. I believe it's on the 16th. I'll have Chloe send that out to anybody in the chat that says they're interested. You're more than welcome to join us, and let's get it together and serve our community. I'm so excited. And my back to school, my adulting starts tomorrow when my kids go back to school. So tons of time during the day. Hit me up.
Hey, so real quick on that, can I get a thumbs up? Anybody that's online right now that has within their job description something that has to do with community engagement or community. Can I get just a screen thumbs up? Can you just hit the screen? Just thumb up the screen for me. Keep going. I know everybody on this thing got something to do with community engagement. Exactly. Kelly, I think we got a lot of volunteers that should be able to be available because this is community engagement. And that's why it is so important to have you guys there with us so the community sees us in one place at one time. Love the movie Drumline, One Band, One Sound. It looks so good and sounds so good when we were all on the same page with each other. This is a great opportunity for us to do this. For those that have never been to Collaboration for a Cause, understand it is their one stop to community connection and empowerment. That is the new tagline, just so you guys know. We're doing bigger and better, but we're doing it together. The last event that we had, 453 referrals to partnering organizations. 453, come on now. That's 7 away from 500 referrals because we showed up and we gave an opportunity to be in one place at one time. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's why this is so important, because when we're talking about serving our community and doing it together, this is an event that we do it at. This is not Workforce Central's event. It's powered by us. This is a community event. This is you guys' event. This is every one of you guys own and take a piece of this event. You broadcast it, you show it, because this is yours and this is how we serve our community. So I took a picture, a screenshot of all them thumbs that were up, just so you know. So I'm gonna be hitting y'all on the back end and asking where y'all was at. We got 2-hour time slots. Y'all can figure it out. Y'all got 8 hours of the day. We just need 2 of those, no matter what you're doing, morning, noon, or afternoon. But somebody better be there. Don't make me come and get y'all.
You know what, Samar? You made me think of something here as the children are running around the background. For the event, for flyers are coming out soon. And as Tamar stated, like, this is your event. So what we did this time was something really awesome and unique. We made a flyer that all of you can put your logo on top of, like Goodwill presents Collaboration for a Cause, Career Team presents Collaboration for a Cause. Any organization on here, we're asking you to promote this under your umbrella, which is really cool. It was a great idea from Dion Lister was who had that idea. So we went ahead and made it so. So I think that's what really makes this like whole event like part of our community. Is it is your event, it is our community. So we'd like you to promote it from your organization, and those should be out. Oh, I hope Juliana's on here. By the end of the day today, we'll be able to get those out to everybody on the meeting.
Absolutely. Your event, your flyer. It just happens to be that the verbiage is the same, the location is the same, but we get to get many different demographics that we all don't touch at the same time, and we can invite them to the same location. That's enough said. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to 3 amazing ladies that run this group as well. Chloe, Carissa, and Krista, talking about the lens of equity, some amazing things happening in there. I'll kick it over to Chloe and let her do her thing, and then the rest of the team can jump in as well. But very excited about the update on this one.
Hi, everyone. I actually have my camera on today. I'm realizing as I meet people in person, they don't know who I am because I never have my camera on. So this is me trying to remedy that a little bit. We have really exciting news about of course, collaboration for a cause. Kelly, amazing work, but also for the lens of equity. So for anybody new joining, welcome. We're really happy to have you here. I'll do a little bit about the summit so you know what's going on. It started last year with the Lens of Equity mini-series, and it focused on components of having an equitable organization. So people, policy, practice, and promotion. And we really wanted to continue that discussion in person. So that's where the idea of the Lens of Equity Summit was born. It's going to be focused on having action-based, result-based steps that you can start taking now. A lot of, especially conferences focused on DEI, is more of a, yay, diversity is important, pat yourself on the back and go about your day. And we know that that's not good enough. So our summit is going to be focused on our community. It's by the community, it's for our community. So whether you're an individual, part of an organization, a nonprofit, a business, there will be something for you at this summit. So the big news about it, we officially have our location and our date confirmed, so you can mark it out on your calendars, and I'll put it in the chat as well. It'll be held on Thursday, May 18th, 2023 at Clover Park Technical College's McGavick Conference Center. So again, I'll put that in the chat. And of course, you can always reach out to us if you want any information. I will be putting our website in the chat as well. There's a spot where you can sign up for updates, so you'll be the first to know about any news relating to the summit. And that is our big update. Of course, the summit is a big thing that we're working on, but it's not the only thing. We really encourage you to come to our monthly meetings. We're talking a lot about local DEI work, educational moments, really in-depth discussions at our meetings. We'll focus on a different topic every time. So if you want an invite to those meetings, please reach out. I'd be happy to send you an invite. We're always looking for people to join. So yeah, that is our big update, Lens of Equity wise.
Yes, there we go. And so, first off, big shout out to Clover Park for sponsoring us and making sure that we had a location to do this work. Secondly, all y'all CEOs, just know I'm coming for some sponsorship. I'm just telling you now, it's coming. Pay attention to it. I'm coming for that sponsorship. So y'all better be ready because it's coming soon. We want it to be big. We want it to be huge. We want it to be about our community, and we want it to be togetherness in what we're doing. Also, my thing is October, we are starting to look for new leadership of the Pierce County Community Engagement Task Force, for the People's and Outreach and Engagement Group, the Collaboration for a Cause Group, the Organizational Structures Lens of Equity Group, the Business Small Business Voice Committee Group. Every one of those are going to have 2 new leaders that are coming on. We've had an amazing run with some amazing leaders, but you know what? I think you guys have been with us enough that it's time to let everybody be able to shine as well. We want you guys to be able to shine. If you have something to give to this team and you want to sit at the table, the voice, it's always open. I'm hoping that y'all hear me when I'm saying we need new leaders. If y'all don't volunteer, I'm just going to come get people because that's just how I do it. Stay authentic and direct. I'm coming to get you because there are some amazing individuals that I think would be great leaders to push this next movement forward. We're going to start looking in October with the start date of January 2023. This is going to be your time to level your voice, make the changes that you want to in this community, recognizing that we want to make sure that we bring economic mobility to Pierce County's individuals and families. So whatever dreams and visions you have, as long as it stays around what we're wanting to do and staying to our mission, please come on board. We want you guys here with us. So it's coming. I'm just giving you guys heads up now. I'm trying to get better at giving you guys a warning before I start knocking down your doors. I'm just giving pre-warnings right now. I'm coming for you, just so you know. We're going to make things happen, you guys. Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Like I said, today we were talking about life-work balance. And I was sitting there with Chloe, actually, and talking to Tim about it, talking to Shelly. And we were like, man, I know everybody asks Shelly how she do everything she do because she always moving, but she understands what it looks like, life-work balance. But when we really wanted to talk about it, there was not a woman that I could bring up that truly harnesses life-work balance like the Peace Queen herself, Miss Melannie Cunningham. She is an absolute soul to this community. She is an amazing individual. And when you can do what you do across the country in the motherlands and still be there, you got life and work balanced out to the best of its ability. So without further ado, I'm so blessed. I don't even know what to say. I'm just pumped up to see her. She got the glasses, got the natural dude doing what she's doing, showing up authentic. Miss Melannie Cunningham, Emmy winner, Peace Queen, right out here in Pierce County herself. Let's get it. Oh,
Now you brought that up right here. Go to Emmy. I thought I'd just show it to you.
I'm just saying.
Okay, just go ahead and say that. But I need you to say my name over because this Melannie Denise Cunningham. I say all my names.
I'm sorry. She told me to put some respect in her name.
Yeah, say the whole
thing. Put some respect in your name. Miss Peace Queen herself, Emmy Award winning Melannie Denise Cunningham. Let's get it.
Oh my God. Listen. Okay, listen, everybody. We're gonna have some fun today. Let me deal with Tamar before I get started with everybody. But Tamar, you know you gangster, right?
A little bit.
Y'all see how many times Tamar said he was coming for you? I mean, seriously, listen. He is serious. That is what passion looks like from a cultural lens. And let me tell y'all a secret, because this I know for sure. So is Katie Condon. She's gangster. Okay. Yeah, snap it up. Okay, that's how we gonna translate that. Katie's gangster too. So this team is powerful. That is a translation of passion. And Tamar, I see you. This is my first time, coming to, y'all invited me. I'm gonna just say you didn't pay me, but I'm here, right? Because I understand the game, right? I understand this flow, what it takes to build a movement. I understand. I'm not gonna let the white supremacist culture get in front of my mindset about the capital money stuff. We stay focused on the passion and what we're doing. I see you all here. And just Tamar, where'd you go? Because I gotta say I love you. I love you. And man, and I'm just saying it with like Wakanda. And I'm gonna take a moment. No, I'm not. Don't rush this. Because what often happens, and this is my foundation, we don't recognize Black men. Our culture just doesn't. And I'm going to get into that in my presentation. But at the top of the hour, for what I'm doing right now is, Tamar, I see you. I love you. God bless you. And thank you for giving a sister this platform. All right. Mwah. All right. Good morning, everybody. Can I please see your face? I know you don't have to, but this is a situation where we got to see each other. So if I respect every reason that people have for not turning their cameras on, and there is no pressure, but if there is any way possible I can see your face, I would love to see you this morning because I need your energy. Let's see each other. Oh my gosh, and there's 48 of us. Oh my goodness, look at us. Okay, just take a moment. Let's call this the breathing space. Just breathe and look at us. Jeez. Carissa, I see you being mobile. Go ahead and multitask right now. We're going to get into work-life balance. I see you balancing. That's right. Yes, look at us. Oh my gosh. Is someone taking a picture of this? Because this is awesome. This is awesome. When we look at I'm just calling to our mindsets, you know, using this moment to call us into what we're doing. Okay, and so look at us, those of us that we have come. Tamar was talking about his journey this morning with the kids. Everybody got a journey. Everybody has something to do this morning, you know, to get here in very diverse ways. Okay, and when we talk about work-life balance, I'm gonna get into it, but as I set this up, I'm asking you to situate yourself in your morning to get here. Okay, because what is it? Was it joyful? You know, did you get a chance to hang out with your kids and feed them breakfast and talk to them, have the community time? You know, my granddaughter is 15. And so that's my special time. I get to drive her to school in the morning. She comes for breakfast, drive her to school, drop her off, give her a kiss. Okay. But you know, that ride to school, that 15-minute ride to school is everything. So, you know, when we talk about balance, I'm gonna get there. Let me just get back here. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, just look at us and breathe. Okay, because we can multiply. There's 48 of us. Next time there'll be 100. Why? Because we're all coming together for our mindset. Carter G. Woodson, who's familiar with Carter G. Woodson? Type it in the chat real quick if you know who that is. And what did he write? What am I about to quote? Carter G. Woodson. Who knows something about Carter G. Woodson? Yep, Black history, that's true. Okay, I'm gonna just quote him as the author. Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro. If you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. Okay, so that has come to me, lived in my head for a long time. If you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. Like if they tell you to do something, if it's in your head, you're just gonna do it. That's what I'm here today. I'm just passing through. Tamar invited me. I was so grateful for the topic, work-life balance, because I've been living it all my life. Not all my life, not until I liberated my mind, but I've been living as an unapologetic Black woman in this white racist supremacist culture since I was 19, and I'll be 65 on my birthday in December. So long time, and it's a choice. And so the invitation for work-life balance to me was an invitation to just tell my story. And so I'm gonna just go through some things today. I got a slide presentation that we'll walk through, but I'm just saying that the intent of it is to just share how I've been living and some of the backstories of things, because there's a lot of accomplishments that have happened. So I think my talk also is about just you know, and don't be scared. Don't be scared. That's the urban translation, of trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, work-life balance, we're talking about life balance. Talking about you. Okay, so any system, and right now I am so stressed out because I'm in school. Okay, because that's important. Because I'm talking, oh crap. The thing said my internet is unstable. So
We hear you. You stopped briefly, but we hear you now. We hear you.
It's okay. Why you pay so much? I'm just sidetracking. You pay the highest cable bill there is, and the crap be saying that I wanted to say a cuss word. But
Capitalism. We just gonna capitalism. Yes, ma'am.
That is just stupid to me. But anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about is you, right? And my presentation today, really, my intention, I'm hoping, is that I could just, like Shelly, I'm gonna just name you Pastor Shelly now, with the prophecy, maybe a Bishop Shelly, because you brought the word already. But you know, like Shelly is showing us that we can just be. It's your choice. We could just be. So is that all right? Can I go there? Y'all good? I need an amen. I'm let me see something.
Amen. We good.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Let's
go.
get it. Okay, so here now goes my technology part of things that let me see. Let's try. Am I, can you see something?
Not yet, ma'am. It's saying that you're starting to share your screen. Now we can see it.
Okay,
We got you. We can see it now.
all right. I sound like the old people. Remember I said I was 64. Can you see it, baby? I go now. I mean, do you see the little bars that I see, or you just see my screen?
I just see your, I see your screen because it's in PDF. So we see the.
Yeah, you see that part up there where
at the top. Yes.
it. Okay, you see, y'all, I'm cracking up. I'm telling you my old 65-year-old stuff. But see up there where it says simple blue and white oral hygiene. That's so that's the template. Okay, so I'm breathing because I'm excited for this. So this is my my presentation is called Peace Queen Talks. And let me tell you about Peace Queen. Does anybody know? I'm Peace Queen. Everybody know that. But do you know how I became Peace Queen? Anybody? Put it in the chat. I'm gonna give like 30 seconds. If you know how I became Peace Queen, I would like to know. And somebody help me monitor the chat, please, because I can't see it. Is anybody saying they know how Miss Melannie became Miss Melannie Denise Cunningham? Notice these names. Became Peace Queen. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, because not a whole lot of people know. I'm leaning in. I made it up. Yes, I did. I made up the name. I decided to call myself Peace Queen. And then the brand became Peace Queen. So that is my, first of all, testimony to you is you can make up your life, okay? Work-life balance. Now, it came about because I won this thing called the Greater Tacoma Peace Prize. And that you should check them out. They're a nonprofit organization. They're awesome. And they go around searching for people that are doing the work of peace, that are doing peace building in the community, but never really, you know, we don't hear about them. And so I got nominated. Some friends of mine nominated me for it, and then I won. And they gave me the title of you become Greater Tacoma Peace Laureate. That becomes your title. So I am your Greater Tacoma Peace Laureate for 2018. But when they, and this is the best part, when you win the prize is for you to an all expense paid trip to Norway to attend the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, the actual Nobel Peace Prize ceremony. There's 1,000 seats in that room. That's a global world event, and you get to be there. So it's like awesome. So I won that prize, and again, if many of you just look me up, my life has been so public. It's there. I've been serving the community for a long time, and I learned I won the prize because of like the Martin Luther King Jr. celebration that's been going on for umpteen years. I'm the founder of that, right? I started that. It came out of my head, that idea, and it's still going on. Those were the kind of things, the People's Gathering. Maybe some of you all come to that, and I'm gonna invite you to it coming up in November later on, but you know, these kind of ideas that are entrenched in the community. And so that's what was in my nomination. And so when I won it and the organizers of the group came to me, and this is a real talk that we're having, but I'm saying again, the purpose of this story is you can make up your life. So don't get that twisted. So the organizers came to me and I said to them, thank you for this honor of Peace Laureate. I said, I'm gonna do an and comma. I said, I'm gonna be Peace Queen. I said, because I feel like this Peace Laureate is a singular, you know, it's like 1 year. And I got some work to do with this. I think this is great. So I'm gonna make my brand Peace Queen. And they're like, well, we're not gonna call you Peace Queen. And I said, I don't care what you call. I'll be the Greater Tacoma Peace Laureate, but I'm going to call myself Peace Queen. I don't care if you call me Peace Queen or not. And so this is true facts. You just look it up in Google right now. When they announced me to go to Norway, what did the newspaper headline say? It said Peace Queen goes to Norway. That's what it said. So yes, you can make up your life. So I stand before you as an unapologetic, liberated Black woman to talk about work-life balance. But when we're talking about work-life balance, we're talking about it in the context of how you operate in a white supremacist culture. That's necessary. So who is this person that, I think I did something. Let me try it again.
Yeah, it stopped sharing, Ms. Ma'am.
Did it stop? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I making sense? Y'all talk to me just for a minute and just let me know that I am making some sense to you. Am I on track? Just
if what's resonating, I know some people are doing a thumbs up while you're working on that. And I think just to supported with some other context, is basically saying that you are the keeper of your dream and your vision. No one is more closer to that than you are, and that you can redefine as many times as you need to in order for you to have the life that you see for yourself. You have that power. That's kind of what's resonating with me out of what you're saying so far.
Okay, you all just hold tight now. Miss Melannie and her technology is all right. I'm learning how to do some things. Just hold tight with me.
What about anybody else based off of what Miss Melannie has said so far?
Yes, please give me some feedback. I need the amen corner.
You know, for mine, I look at it and I love what you said about that, you know, Miss Melannie and Shelly, I think a lot of times we forget that we control what everything looks like day to day. And I think that we get so wrapped up in the structures of, again, they and them, rather than us and we. And we go off of what is told to us as we're supposed to react to them daily. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it. But they're not living your life. And so when you become slave to what is told to you, then you truly stay as a slave rather than independent, you know, again, and I know Sam says it so beautifully, you know, you assimilate rather than integrating into a system. And that's really where we're moving forward to, is we are starting to integrate. And if we are not able to integrate in that system, then we will no longer assimilate. See us for who we are. And that is each of you guys on this page. See us for our talents and what we do and what we bring. And if you cannot do that, I have the independency in myself to say, I don't have to be here. And I love where you're going with that, as far as in you have that choice. Shelly, you're right. We all have that choice. So that's what I got from it. I'm gonna go ahead and let you keep doing your thing.
Yeah. The screen is back up, Miss Melannie.
Okay, right on. Okay, hold on. Let me get that going. Okay. So let's start with just me, okay? Because I said I want to talk about my life as the metaphor for this teaching, because this is how I've lived. So this is me as a baby. I was so cute, little chunky chunk. And these are some of the titles that I uphold in my life. And I put these there also to say, as one human to another, I'm sure that I've connected with one of each of you in some way, and I haven't even met you all. Okay, but there's lots of daughters out there, and mommy, I'm known as mommy and grandma, and you all know me as Miss Melannie and Peace Queen, and I'm a Delta, so I got thousands of Soras out there that know me as Soras, and in church, Sister Cunningham, and all my little children around, Auntie Melannie. I invite you to take a look at your sphere of influence. Okay, this is where I have influence, not only in connecting with you all on your stories, but also in these worlds that I live. Okay, and these choices that I make for myself, and I'm using my story to encourage you in another way, is to define your sphere of influence. What is it? What is your reach? Speaking on community engagement at the core of who you are. So define your reach. Okay, who is it that you are influencing? Who listens to you? You say you're a leader, who's following you? Right, that's your personal inventory, because all of this today is about you. And I will, what you got to know about me is I just keep it real. And from, again, 19 years old, and how I walk life, it's just been, this who I am. I know I'm a Black woman and the world don't want to listen to me. And you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna listen to myself. So think about how I'm speaking to you in my unapologetic way. And does that make you uncomfortable? Okay, because in white, racist, supremacist culture, I can understand how for some people it would. And we have to start, because that's been my life journey. The hurts and the pains and it's come because people want to keep us in line. And please allow me to use the plantation as a metaphor. Please, in my teaching, because I say it all the time, the plantation as a metaphor. Somebody's controlling the way you make. You do not have authority over your wages and your earnings. And you got supervisors / masters that oversee your work. So how free really are you? Okay, so when we talk about work-life balance, understand the system. You can use whatever metaphor you want, but understand the system that you're working in and where do you have influence? Because check this out, and I know you've heard this before, but I believe it. I believe this. I got the same 24 hours that you do. You ain't got more than me. That's what God gave us. I mean, so if we're using time as a system and what we understand, we all got the same 24 hours. So that's equal. What we do in those 24 hours and how we attract in our lives or manifest in our lives what we want to have happen in our lives, that's the game. That's a competitive advantage. That's knowledge. What you do with those 24 hours. You know, some people make money while they sleep. I'm just saying, I know this to be true. There's certain investments you can make that your money works for you while you're sleeping. So think about not just money, but life in general. You know, I have projects where my team members come from different countries. Because while they working, I'm sleeping. You know, when I get up, then their reports are with me. I don't know, y'all ever heard of it's an app or a website called Fiverr, Fiverr.com, Fiverr. You need anything done, anything. You think of a project, business plan, market analysis, I mean, you graphics design, you think of anything you need to be done there. That one just kind of pulls people together, project people. But anyway, I gave you this piece of me right here on Life Side because it's important that you know my sphere of influence, but it's also important that I connect with you on some level, because in the system and movement of what we're doing, you've got to understand that we're all interconnected. We're all interconnected. And I was listening to that work as you all were talking about the things that you have accomplished over time and the reports that was happening and stuff. We're all interconnected, and the strength of who we become, or the organization, the organism that you grow into is the strength, is the mindset of the people, that you all understand that, but then you also understand where you fit in the web. So I'm just trying to enter in with my life. Hey, yeah, I'm a daughter, mommy, mama, grandma. I got grandmother stories and woes. You know, Miss Melannie is usually for the students, you know, a lot of them, because I have a lot of influence with young people being in higher education and their families. And at the intimate levels, because when you start talking about financial aid and stuff, you know, you getting in people's business. So levels of trust that you have. Okay, you got to understand who you are. And then on the life work side, I just put, these are the things that I've chosen. This is only service, like where I give my time. And but with these connections, look at that iHeartMedia. Okay, I'm on the community advisory board there. Yeah, that's all the radio stations and stuff. Up and down, wherever they are. So it can get the word out with the public service announcement. Okay, so look at me telling you this, and now we're connected, right? You see? How do we spread our message? Deltas, we're all over the world. Northwest Harvest, we feed everybody. You know, we're impacting. But again, I'm choosing where I want to go. So I'm asking you what you doing? What's your work? I'm just passing through today. It's really about inspiration. That's all. So I'm going to just challenge you. And so we talked about, when I just said what you doing, you got to have a purpose. Why are you living? Okay, and I know that there's a typo in there. I couldn't fix it in time. So I'm just going, but it's to acquire massive wealth so I can the rest of my life giving it away. Okay, that's my mission. You can cite the mission statement of where you work at. Now I'm talking Ebonics. Okay, I can cite the mission statement of where I get my W-2 from. That's PLU, you know, to educate students for lives of thoughtful inquiry, service, leadership, and care for their communities, for other persons, and for the earth. You see, I didn't blink. I can cite my own life mission to acquire massive financial wealth so I can spend the rest of my life giving it away. So I'm clear. I'm clear. And I've had this for a long time. Now, this was a process, but I want to encourage you to do that. Maybe task force, if that's what we do, is like we do a workshop on mission statements for people, for themselves. Okay, because you got to know where you're going, and then you know where you're going, and then you know that it fits into your volunteerism and the work. Because I'm about to show you, this is me. I got a story for every single one of these things. Somebody asked me something, just pick one and let me tell you. But let somebody other than Shelly and Tamar say something. Okay, because y'all be talking for everybody, which I understand. But let me just hear from somebody. Ask me. I'm going to ask a few of you. I want you to be curious. Take a shot at just studying these things.
So Melannie, Purely Africa.
Oh, Purely Africa. Thank you for asking. Girl, that's real time stuff right now. All right. I just bought land in Ghana. I spent this last August in Ghana, but I said to myself that Africa is in my future. I said it a long time ago. And the reason that I said this is because, listen, our economy is, we need to figure out a way to make dollars in a different way. And so if you invest in depressed economies, as far as producing a product that's going to generate you $1 in those depressed economies, you're paying above wage and incentivizing people. You're still getting a good deal for the labor. And so I just bought land in Ghana and I'm starting a chili farm. And I'm going to export chilies and derivatives of chilies, hot sauce and, spicy mayonnaise and all kinds of stuff, different products. But in the process, I'm teaching young people. On the Ghana side, the young people will be the exporters. So they're learning that industry. And then on this side, they'll be the young people will be the distributors. So kind of like Girl Scout cookies and, how they be distributing them overpriced cookies and then they keep the money. The organization keeps the money. Purely Africa is teaching the kids entrepreneurship, but they get to keep the money. So that was a long drawn out answer, but that's in real time. I just bought the land in Ghana and I'm actualizing it as my retirement strategy. And the exchange rate in Ghana right now is 10 Ghanaian cedis to $1 US. Yeah.
Can you talk to us about Amazon?
Amazon, ooh, that's real time right now too. Amazon and that IDI, those two go together. And I just happened to get in the door through word of mouth and referral to offer different Amazon teams intercultural assessment. And so, because they're serious about their equity and inclusion work and developing their managers. And the reason that I know is when I was negotiating with them, I'm serious about my 24 hours. And I don't want to be working for nobody. I don't care who you are if you're not serious. So if they, because all money ain't good money. Just know that. Period. Grandmama said it and I believe it. Okay. And so when it was my turn to ask questions, just like they ask questions and my turn to ask questions, I asked it, and I call this RTQ. Right? That's what I say in my head in moments of truth where I got to know that I'm living in my truth. You got to RTQ, raise the question. RTQ. So it was like, bing, RTQ mail, and I'm like, okay, how serious are y'all? I don't want to be involved in anything that's a checkbox because that's not fun. But if you're ready for innovation and doing an assessment, you get to actually establish data around the work. And so that's where I get energized and that's where I have expertise. So they've hired me and my company, the Cunningham Network, to do assessments. So on several teams, I'm kind of slowly but surely working my way in there. It's fun. I'm telling you, make up your life. Ask me a couple more things. Let's do a couple more and then we'll move on.
Somebody about Girl Time.
Girly Time. Okay, that was a television project and Girly Time, Food for Thought. Those are, you see a theme around media. And so that is where my training and expertise and, even let me show you my Emmy, one more time in terms of my interests. And so Girly Time was a show that was produced by Nisi Ross. And I really wish Nisi would bring that back. So and she had me as a associate producer and guest a lot. So that was me being able to keep my media work in. And yeah, that was super fun. That was in the 2000 era. But somebody asked me about McDonald's South Africa.
I have a two-part question, I think. First is about McDonald's South Africa. And secondly, there are so many things on here. It's amazing. And just looking at it, it's also kind of overwhelming. So I'm curious as to how you manage it all.
Yep, I'm going to get to that. I'm totally going to get to that. McDonald's South Africa was in the 90s when remember, that's when apartheid dismantled. And so that was at the time when I was in that I'm gonna talk about socialization and liberation, but I was in this stage where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And so this was a project that came to me because of referral, in terms of folks knowing that I had this background in PR and outreach and customer service. So I was invited to volunteer on the grand opening of the first McDonald's restaurant in South Africa. And so after apartheid had dismantled, it was the first one. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go there. I had to pay my own way there, but once I got there, McDonald's, the corporation, they took care of everything. And that was how I got introduced to the motherland. I think I was like 40 something. And through that project, and many, those of you that know me now, I have been traveling to the continent since then, right, to the different countries. But I worked on this first project and it was fabulous. That's how I started to meet my friends on the continent. And then they started taking me home. And then that's how, again, when you understand your level of influence, that is a tactic that you really got to get clear on. Okay, and then I'm gonna just put a plug in right now. I do produce with my sister on 253, and so that's, if you just want to just follow us, because we just keep it real sisters, real talk, and I think you'll have fun with it. Folks tell us that they listen to it while they clean the house, or they're doing a specific task, they're jogging, they're walking, exercising. So our topics are just what comes to our head. All right, let me just breathe for a second, and I'm going to get into just a little academic space, and but then try to translate it. Any questions of me for that last section? I'm just trying to connect. Did I connect? Let me stop sharing so I can see the chat. Shelly, tell me what are people saying in the chat?
So it's on fire. It's a lot of great stuff around when they, like, that's the message I got. So just kind of reflecting on some of the things that you said. You can name, Lori Reyes said, that's the message I got as well. You can name and create yourself, but you can't just say it. Melannie is the peace queen because she is, her life and character support the name. Yeah. And Narendra was commenting on what Tamar said, because we shouldn't have to lose ourselves to become a part of something. And just a lot of love you, Melannie. And I think people are just intentionally listening. But if I said fire up the chat about what I want you to do is fire up that chat and talk. And what did you get out of this moment as she shifts into that academic moment? What did you get out of what she was saying? And that was a visualization, I think, to me, of you're not limited to just one thing. Stop asking people how they do all that they do. Create your path so you can do what you do, what you desire to do. Stop limiting yourself. Come on now, fire it up that chat. All right, Miss Melannie, we ready.
Say amen to all of that. And again, the reason I said yes to this time frame in the 24 hours that I have, that I value so much, is because this is movement building. This is peace building work. Okay, this is how I see it. This is peace building work. One heart, one soul at a time. And you all are building such a network that I want to continue to encourage you. And I do the and comma. And that is each of you and what you bring as the individuals. So it all goes back to self. And I'm in this equity and inclusion space. And I've been in it all my life before it was even that. For some of you calling it equity and inclusion, affirmative action. And then I was the EEO officer, Equal Employment Opportunity Officer for the city of Tacoma back in the day. Just holding that work down. It's evolved to equity and inclusion. That's what we call it now. But at the end of the day, it's got to be what you as the individual is bringing to the table, because this is straight up advocacy work against the white supremacist culture that we've all been socialized to live in. So let me make that transition and talk about culture. Okay, just so y'all know, I had a photo shoot last week before last. So these are some new photos. Let me know if you like the photos from the photo shoot. But this one was, listen, that's what I hope that conveys that. When we were doing it, I was saying, yeah, I just wanted to be like, listen, honey, listen. And I want to talk about socialization and liberation. And many of you know that I'm on my PhD journey. So, and there was something in my research, because white people reparations. That's what my dissertation gonna be about. Rich white people, high net worth individuals, people that make $1 million or more. Okay, let me stop. It said my internet was unstable. Did I freeze? Am I okay?
You're okay.
Okay.
It was broken up just a little bit, but you're okay now. You're okay.
Okay. Thank you. And so, yeah, I'm trying to break some barriers there. But in my research to understand where I'm situating my topic, I came across this literature by Bobby Harrow on socialization and liberation and culture. Okay, now this isn't Bobby Harrow's work. I'm gonna talk about culture first, and then I'm gonna go into it. But culture is how we roll. Culture is how we live. You gotta think about it. How does culture influence your life, and what culture are you claiming? And for some of us in our living, it's, we got dual cultures, more than one. I'm Black culture. That's how I was raised. And so there's certain ways that I roll because of that. Socialization. So now when we talk about culture as we understand it, on the surface, it's what we see, right? The food and the dress, and it's Black History Month. We gonna have a potluck and people gonna bring the greens and the macaroni and cheese. And that's how we celebrate. We dress in our African garb in church on Sundays. We, classes might have an emphasis on Black literature. There's celebrations that's all on the top. And that's not an indictment against it. We're recognizing it. And if you've seen this before, let us know. Okay, but I'm just assuming that this is, I'm assuming and just saying this is the foundation of my understanding and how I'm transferring it to you. But culture is how we live. We live out of culture. And in business terms, some of you all have heard this saying before, that culture eats strategy for lunch. You heard that before, for breakfast, or culture rules. So start to examine your culture. And what I've learned being around white people for a while, that are the center of some of the work that I do, white people have a hard time expressing what white culture is. And it brings a lot of confusion. They really move towards ethnicity, you know, more of a move. I'm Italian, I'm not white people, but there's white passing Hispanic people, but German, you know, there's bringing that into it. But white people have confusion over culture. And so this is usually where, on the surface, where non-white cultures are objectified. Just being aware, instead of out there more for understanding. You know, the one I think about right away is, you know, Cinco de Mayo. Oh, let's go drink. You know, versus the actual history of what it is. So then we move to deep culture. And so we're getting about from up top where we see, now we're getting into how we feel. And that's where the work of equity and inclusion and white supremacist culture and all of that lives underneath this iceberg. And that's why the work is squishy. That's why the work is messy, because they're unspoken and unconscious and not defined. Up top, we can, above sea level, as you see, we know what it is. But when you get underneath, okay, and this is the stuff, this mess down here, not mess, but just ways of being. Let me say it that way. This ways of being down here is what we have to come to grips with. I know there's one, where is the one about, hold on. The one about time. Y'all see that one? There's something about concepts of time. It's around here somewhere. Attitude towards time. Look for it for me. Or maybe I'm thinking about it on another drawing that I've seen. But for concepts of time, I remember, oh, it's up here. I just saw it. Wait, where did it go?
It's at the top.
Yeah, where?
In the first line.
Yeah, concept of time. All right, unspoken rules. So my first job out of college, I worked for this company called General Electric. Now, remember, I told you I was older than many of you. So this was in the early 80s. I had my first job. I graduated WSU in 1981. So my very first job was with General Electric. And so I don't know if you all even had experience with time clocks where you actually had to punch a time clock. Okay. So this is my story. This was in that era where you literally had to punch a time clock. And so when I punched the time clock, I would be in like 8:01, 8:04, 8:02, sometimes 7:59, but you know, mostly 8:01 to 3, like that. Never more than after 5 minutes. And I got fired because of that. I got fired. And I called my dad. I remember it like it was yesterday. I called my dad, Daddy. You know, I'm crying and carrying on. And I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, they fired me. Come black. And my dad was like, no. About it, and that is the connection to systems, right? When I say systems, that is the system. You have to be there at 8 o'clock.
Miss Melannie, freezing. I don't know if you can hear me, but you're freezing up.
Okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Now you stopped it. You have to be there at 8 o'clock.
So the system was that I had to be there at 8 o'clock. And what I learned from that is that I would never, ever take a job where I had to punch a time clock, because that wasn't my flow. I learned that from there. And then as I learned about my culture and understanding history and understanding African flow, that's being on the continent, understanding how systems and concepts of time work, then I know how myself. We understand PC, what is it? PC, CP time.
It froze up again. All right. Go ahead while Miss Melanie's,
Okay.
are you back? You back? It froze up again on us. I was just asking people to go ahead and start like putting their thoughts in the chat just for those moments.
Please do use these moments. I promise I paid my cable bill. So I don't know what's going on with all of this. Let's just flow, because that's what I'm talking about. And the purpose of that story was to talk about concepts of time and flow. And when you are thinking about the balance in your life, you've got to think about flow. You've got to think about flow. And flow is cultural. And our rejection of flow and coming to concepts of time has to do with the system that we're in. And I challenge you all, I didn't put this on a slide, but I want you to look up, you can just literally look it up in Google. Type in on images, type in white supremacist culture pyramid, and it'll come up. And you'll see, in contrast, you'll really vividly see, just like this has surface culture, then we'll be able to understand overt supremacy, right? And you've really got to get your head into understanding the white supremacist culture, because you need to have that foundation in order to understand it's not your fault that you are who you are. You was born into a system. We're going to talk about socialization, but it is your choice to liberate yourself from there. It is your choice to educate yourself in every way that you can and stay in contact with your feelings of who you are. So this is what I call, it's head and heart work, head and heart, but I call it psyche and soul, right? It's your psyche and your soul aligning to be in this equity and inclusion space. Your psyche and your soul have to align on your purpose of why you're doing this work. And I'm just going to tell y'all straight up transparent, I'm scared right now. I am super scared on the people that are entering into this field of work. Okay, George Floyd's murder revolutionized, leapfrogged America's consciousness into the need for, the equity and inclusion work. Finally we get validated. And so people that have put in all these years, like myself, in this space are now seeing, I'm pausing because it says my internet is unstable. Am I still here with you?
You're still here. You're very clear. It's probably a delay on your end when it's telling you, but it's not stopping yet. We'll let you know.
Okay. So people are now, and let me use these air quotes, pivoting into the equity and inclusion training space now and consulting. They wasn't doing that before, but now it's lucrative and now they pivoting. And so you have a lot of people out here causing harm. And I'm just gonna say, I don't know you, this is my first time, but in the context of what I'm saying and doing and speaking, is that you? Are you invested in this work? You putting the time in? You know what you're dealing with? Where do your loyalties lie? I mean, because this is a movement. And organizations, I'm gonna say this too, because I've lived it. Organizations that have the equity and inclusion and EEO work in the HR department, you ain't serious. Do I need to say that for the people in the back that couldn't hear, like at church? If the equity and inclusion work of your organization is not situated with the CEO, you ain't serious. I'm gonna drop the mic on that. Period. Because that's the level of work. The chief diversity officer or whatever they call it now. I mean, when I was actually doing the work, I worked in the federal government, and I worked for the Department of the Navy. That was one of the things that was on the list. And I was the Deputy Equal Employment Opportunity Officer because the CO was the equal opportunity officer, right? So it's the buck stops at the top. For this work, it is so squishy, it could only be at the top. So I'm gonna leave that where it is, and y'all continue to have those conversations that you have within your organizations about placement. But this is a sister that only says that the work needs to be at the CEO level, period. So, or reporting to the CEO, not the CEO, but reporting to the CEO. So let me stop on that. What say y'all about that? Because that was the declaration. What say you? Talk to me. I want to hear somebody talk.
I'm gonna wait, Miss Melannie. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let the team. Hey, whoever want to talk.
Let's let the people talk.
Yes.
What do
Melannie,
y'all?
this
Thank
is
you, Ava.
Phyllis.
Who is this? Phyllis?
This is Phyllis.
Thanks, Phyllis.
You know, I got to tell you that this is so right on for me. As much as I felt I needed to get involved, I didn't know exactly how. But the owner of my company, John Korsmo, is my example, right? And because of him, when things, I mean, I had a department head that wasn't so happy, like, you're in accounting, what are you doing with this? And my explanation was that I talk to people all day long, and money's a very frightening thing for people. And I need to develop that trust so that they know that I'm looking for their best interest, including Korsmo's. When things come up, I just kind of think, how would John handle this? And I run things past him all the time. And I mean, you know, he's headed in the right direction, right? And I'm setting up my retirement based on all this work. And I promised John I'd give him 2 more years and I'm out of here, and then I'm stepping big. But you're so right. If I didn't have the support of the owner of the company that I work for, I couldn't do what I do. I just couldn't.
No, it's not possible.
No.
And that's why I said Tamar is a gangster, and so is Takati. Because if he didn't have this, so maybe I'm not sure if y'all people. No, you're independent. See,
Right.
that's a whole thing. That's a beautiful thing. That you're independent of the structure. But you all, Phyllis, you know I love John Corsmo.
Yeah.
And you all, let me just tell you my John Corsmo story. Okay, living as a liberated Black woman, I have always believed that my success in business is tied to the team that I surround myself with. And every Black woman, this is my belief, needs a white man on her team. One that you can trust, one that will go forward for you, will fight the battles, because let's be clear, we're still existing. We're trying to disrupt and dismantle a white supremacist cultural system, but we still living in it. And in the white supremacist cultural system, white man is king. So why not bring in, you know, the art of war? Maybe you all know this book, Sun Tzu. Infiltrate, learn the enemy's secrets, win the hearts of the people. So why not bring in, and I say enemy in quotes, because when we just talk about executing this strategy, enemy is white supremacist culture, but then you have someone inside of that culture that understands and believes where you walk. So for me, and I had, my person was Early Mork. He was the city manager of Tacoma, and then he was the president of the Economic Development Board. I mean, we had a wonderful relationship and very straightforward. And then Early passed away, he died. And I was without a white man. And so I asked the Lord, I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna do now? And then you know how when you get ready to buy a car or something, and then you start seeing stuff, like you see a particular car and maybe you haven't noticed it all along, and then you start seeing it everywhere. That's what happened with Corsmo. I started seeing the signs everywhere, construction signs everywhere on UW to Tacoma, and then Corsmo signs were on the PLU campus. And so I went down to the PLU trailer on the Corsmo trailer on the PLU campus. I asked to speak to him. They gave me his number. I called his cell phone, and oh my God, he answered. I was stunned. I thought it was going to be a voicemail. And then it's pretty much like, oh, hi, my name is Melannie. And I'm talking really fast. My name is Melannie, and I believe that every Black woman should have a white man on her team. I mean, you know, I just started going in. And he was like, okay. And we ended up meeting at Starbucks. This was more than 10 years ago. We met at Starbucks. We talked about what does it mean to mentor each other? Because what he said to me is that he doesn't know the Black community, and that is his intention, to know the Black community and others. And so we've been together, Phyllis, now for, I'm going to say 12, since 2009. So yeah, amazing. That's my Corsmo story. Everyone needs to have a story of diverse members of their team that are intentionally chosen to help you move this journey forward. Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And so John is I mean, literally now I call him my brother from another mother. And when I went to Africa and was started, you know, really starting to develop my business, I asked him, I said, I need your mentorship and your vision in terms of what my vision is. Can you come and check it out with me? Yeah, we went to Uganda and South Africa together. So again, I'm making up my life, and I need you all to understand that you can make up yours too. Right, time check. Can you tell me what my time limit is now for going forward?
About 5 minutes. What do you need? Tell me what you need and I'll give it to you.
No, I want to know what you planned, because or what did you say for me?
Oh, we were just gonna open it up, you know what I mean, and just have these.
But the meeting is until.
Oh, we go until 11. 11.
11. Okay. Well, then that helps me. Okay. So I want to share this academic reference with you all. This is Bobby Harrow, and you can type it in Google, Bobbie, Bobby Harrow. But she introduced this, blew my mind, this whole concept of socialization and liberation. Okay, because I've said I've been living as a liberated Black woman, but if I'm trying to share with people how to be liberated, this is really helpful. And so just in a nutshell, I just want to reiterate, this is how we become aware of our conscious bias, and then our unconscious bias, and just who we are, and then how we begin to live intentionally. I just offer this as a framework. And so think about it here, where we're looking over here in the beginning. This is when we come in as a blank slate. And basically, and this also is my urban translation of the work. So if you all want to get super academic about it, then you can look it up yourself. But this is how I've internalized it. But you're coming into the world as a blank slate. So you don't have any of these things, these biases, these stereotypes. We have none of this. We don't know any, we ain't got no habits, nothing, right? So, but then our socialization begins immediately based on who we're born to. And so those kind of, some folks come into parents, some people come into a system, some people, I mean, all the circumstances surrounding us, we don't have any choices about this. And our first socialization is who we're born to. They shape everything about our existence. Again, but we have no choice. Then those systems made aware to us by these institutions.
It just froze a little bit, Miss Melannie. You all are putting a lot of great and impactful things in the chat. Let's keep doing that while we're waiting. Seeing a lot of like retrospect, things are resonating. What are some of the thoughts that you're having so far while we're waiting on Miss Melannie to reconnect? If you can talk, jump on your microphone and talk. I can't see your hands up, so just jump on and say what's and share what you're thinking. Ava, I see you.
Yeah, I absolutely love this, and I want to go back to the HR comment about like the EO officer being in HR. My background is human resources, and I know from my experience, it was never about building community or collaboration. It was always a me versus them type experience, and then having to understand, for me being like reframing and doing all those things, because I did want to develop relationships rather than I don't know, just rather than just confusion, and explaining to my managers that, okay, so everybody's under the same umbrella. We need to like adhere to all those different things. And it was always a fight to get them to understand. So I know in equity work, it is working to collaborate. And so HR is absolutely the wrong space to have that in, because it's not about collaboration, literally. And having to explain to managers, even your HR groups, it was always so, I don't know, it was always so difficult. And it's like, and now that is the reason why I do consult now, because it was like building for now on this side, I can work on building relationships. And it was never like that. It was always a fight to get them to understand that. So I totally agree with the fact that CEO stuff should not be within the HR. It should be situated with whoever the CEO is, because if they say that their mission and their values is to incorporate that, at the top is where it should be. And I'm using that should very, very strongly.
Strongly.
So,
Yeah. It's like, you know, something happens the world has a shift, they create a thing, right? I always say in the military, we was infamous for creating something, the course correct, and say we created something. Now, we're not solving any problems. We're not changing culture, but we can say from the out to the outside world who don't enter our military gates, we changed it, or we did something for it. So we checked the box, but no one's checking the box to ensure that change is actually happening. And it always takes a significant emotional event, a C, in order for everyone's attention to actually focus on or hyper focus on what that means, right?
And performative doesn't work, right? Because it's literally not delving into the work itself. It's not delving into the culture. It's not creating space for people. It's doing so. It's more of a harm than anything to literally do performative work, because you're only seeing the surface stuff, and everybody's crying and working on leaving because the culture is not what it says on the surface.
Quietly quitting.
Yeah, exactly. The inner work is not being done. So
right.
Right.
Miss Melannie is back. Ava jumped in on the conversation. I just asked anyone to share, and so she was reflecting on the comment you made about the HR and where it should be. So the floor is yours again, ma'am.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your patience. We just gonna keep flowing, right? So you're with me on socialization, right? When we talk about the reinforced structures from our first socialization, and then as we're getting older, we're living in the structure where these institutions start to enforce structure, and the impact on our lives becomes this stigmatization. It becomes, maybe based on our choices, we're persecuted. I'm thinking of my LGBTQ community. Discrimination happens. I mean, this is where those institutions start to enforce. Now, let me bring to your attention that inside of socialization, inside of the operating system, is at the core is fear and ignorance, confusion, insecurity. That is at the core of the operating system. The operating system operates that way to generate these kind of results. And let's not forget, you didn't choose this system. This is what you was born to. But at some point, listen, and again, this is my urban translation, but this is how I've internalized it. At some point, you get to the what the hell. And that's what this is right here. The dissonance, the silence, the anger, all those kind of feelings that you, based on your life choices and who you have become, which you didn't have no choice about, go back to being born into it. You just decide, like, I ain't doing this no more. I ain't doing it. And then it becomes a choice. Either you keep on, you push it down, you hold on to it, you don't listen to whatever, you just decide, you keep on the cycle. Or you say, hell no. I'm done with this. I'm getting off, change, I'm raising, I'm ready to go. And so then what happens is that you enter this murky water, and this is what I'm studying in my PhD with white people, is what happens in this murky water. What is this thing, these white people that are rich, that something happened to them where they decided that they was going to go against the supremacist culture. This is when you say, I'm going to do something different, and then you enter into liberation. Because it's a choice. This is when you wake up. And for let's just talk present time, a whole lot of white folks right now, I don't know what took them so long, but seeing George Floyd murdered in real time, this is where they are now. And woke up. We've been fighting the battle for a while, right? I've been off this and living this for a long time, but for many people in our atmosphere, this is what George Floyd did. his martyrdom. He was a martyr because this is what his life and others. I'm not just saying just him. Breonna Taylor and Ahmed Aubrey and Tamir Wright. I mean, we could say all their names. Sandra Bland, but I think we only saw the police video, but we saw George Floyd being murdered. We saw that. That was the wake up. That's the critical incident. That's what creates, that's what okay. And so then in the cycle of liberation, this is what happens. It's like, okay, I've got to go inward. And that's where I'm at with y'all today. Some of y'all may be liberated longer. This might be a situation, but this is an intentional choice. You got to do it. And by doing that, that means that you're now, you're dismantling a lot of things. You're breaking down things. You're critical reflection. And then you start reaching out. Okay. This is, let me put this part, the intrapersonal, bring that attention. This is where I feel that this coalition is this part about building community. So I'm not sure where you are. Do some critical self-reflection. Maybe you're still over here. Maybe you're here and here. But what this organization, Pierce County Community Engagement Task Force, right here, this is where you fit in for people. They're starting to work with others, coalescing, action planning, fundraising. For many of you on the line, I'm sure your spaces might in your liberation journey. Maybe you didn't have this framework before, but think about how you moved through your liberation journey. And for me, I've been totally in the creating change mode for my whole life. I mean, since 19, the work that I'm doing. But this is a framework or a model that I can embrace and be like, yeah, this is kind of like what my story was. But let me just bring the word transforming to your consciousness, because that's what's happening with you. If your consciousness about you're transforming, all of us are becoming better versions of ourselves. And so my summation in my journey of work-life balance was recognition. Okay, this was my prayer to work. When I left state government employment back in 1996, I was driving to work. I was like, Lord, I don't know what I don't want to do. I ain't doing this no more. And I went into my supervisor's office and asked to be laid off. Because I knew at the time, when you get laid off, you get benefits. I ain't gonna quit nothing. I knew enough about that. So when at that point in my life, I got laid off and I got worker retraining benefits on my unemployment. And that's when I went to TV school. And then look what has happened from that. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying. So recognition. And then I learned a concept from Minister Farrakhan years ago. And I don't care if y'all get mad about me saying Minister Farrakhan, I learned about it. And it's called Steal Away. And if you look me up from back in the day, I mean, really do some research. If that's what you try to figure out, who is Miss Melannie? I got in trouble at my plantation job for saying Minister Farrakhan's name. It was all in the newspaper and everything. Okay, and I'm still standing. So let's just say that. unapologetically Black woman. But what Minister Farrakhan taught me is to steal away. Knowledge is power, only when you use it. So you take, let me say that again for the people in the back that didn't hear. Knowledge is power, only when you use it. And while you're there in the workplaces that you are, take every single training class, certification, anything that is allowed to you, do that. And then become purpose driven. And Shelly said it out loud, but you see it's already on my slide, quietly quit. If it's not for you, work-life balance. Okay, and I'm closing. Work-life balance. Think about all of that. Making up what you want. So I'm going like, what is your mission? So you know what you want. And then I got to go back. Let me just take you back. To the person that asked me, how do you manage it all? All of this is because I'm clear. Every single one of these connections, every single one of them fits into acquiring massive financial wealth so I can spend the rest of my life giving it away. Why? Because of influence. Your influence, your testimony, who you are becomes your competitive advantage, which is back to individual. It's got to be about you. And I think that's my last slide. What you gonna do?
It's time to flip the script.
What
Y'all better, you know
do?
what, Miss Melannie? I need everybody, since it's been, because I think what they've been doing, everybody really has been intentionally listening, not acting like with intention. I need everybody to make a declaration, because if you don't put it in writing, it ain't real. So what I want you to do in the chat, and if you have a notepad, because I know some of y'all been writing and taking notes, write down, what are you going to do? Put it in the chat. What are you going to do? And this is scary, because this is the part where accountability comes in, if I could say that, Miss Melannie.
Yes, you can say that. And may I please follow Shelly's challenge. And for me, I just want you to make a declaration and put in the chat these simple words, that I am anti-racist. That's what I need you to put in the chat. So I am anti-racist. And if you have a hard time putting it in the chat, I mean, like, you got to think about it, because you got to declare who you are. And if you having a hard time and thinking twice about it, then that's what you got to sit with. Okay. But if you are clear about I am anti-racist, then all the work and all the learning and all of it'll come to you. And it will teach you a different way if you need a new way. And it'll encourage you on the way that you are. But you cannot move forward on this liberation. Let me go back here. You can't go off of this scale and into this scale until you say to yourself, I am anti-racist.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Melannie. Thank you for coming today. I'm curious, I had a quick question. There are some of us who are in position to kind of discuss policy and practices and bring forward things just like this to our agency. Do you have maybe some trainings or skill building events where we could come and get the information and really bring it back to our agency in a way where we're confident, right? We feel protected to say the things that might make other people feel uncomfortable in these spaces, and really just make that change. But is there something that is available to kind of just prepare us to walk into these spaces that's maybe like the level 2 of this conversation?
Okay. Hold on. I'm typing in the chat.
Let's go. I hear it.
Okay. November 10th. PLU. Okay. So
Boom.
I produced the People's Gathering. This is your spot. Y'all you just need to show up to the People's Gathering. This is a conference to teach people how to talk about race. This is a space where, Joshua, if you got people you working on that need to have some training, you make sure you send them. Okay, but this is also a space for you all to come and have a supportive space that you're able to speak what's on your mind unapologetically. One of the treasured jewels of the People's Gathering, a Revolution of Consciousness conference, is that one of our sessions are race dialogues. And so based on the box that you check on the census form, okay, because you know that is the time when the government forces us to talk about race. I mean, and they got strategies and tactics to get in your living room. You understand? They even go into schools talking to your kids. You saw that on my slide, the U.S. Census. I was a partnership specialist for them. I know the science behind that. And they go in and making you fill out the form. You don't fill out the form, they knocking on your door and everything. And then for the rest of the 10 years, they don't want us to talk about race. Right? And then, okay, you did send me out on a tangent, and then have you ever noticed why on the census form that white is first? W. White start with a W. It should be at the bottom. But white is first. And then everybody else in alphabetical order. I ain't lying. Go check it out. It's this. If you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. So I'm just saying this is a revolution of consciousness. And that's why you got to come to the conference. It's November 10th. I know that the continuing ed department is going to release the save the date and all of that stuff. But Workforce Central has always supported the People's Gathering and Katie. So I'm sure that you all will know about it and be able to attend. And I haven't even said this public, so I'm saying it to you because I'm talking to you. Our speaker, don't nobody know but y'all now. I'm serious. Listen, is Dr. Eddie Moore Jr. Look him up. Dr. Eddie Moore Jr. He is the founder of the White Privilege Conference and the White Privilege Institute. And those of y'all that listen to my podcast, you know I went to the White Privilege Conference because I had to see what was going on. And it was amazing. And I got introduced, and it is a gathering of scholars and practitioners and people that want to do better. And I mean, it was just, the energy was fantabulous. And so we're trying to get Dr. Moore to say yes to us wanting to convene this conference, probably in 26 or so, convene the White Privilege Conference in Tacoma. We want that. Dorinda has her hand.
Yes, ma'am. So I just also want to say that Dr. Eddie Moore Jr. is the creator of the 21-day challenge that has taken off all across the country, including right here in Pierce County. So
I didn't know that. What?
Yes.
Okay.
And it has been.
Put the link in the chat. I put the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Well, he's our speaker, sis.
I can't wait because I have the opportunity for us to bring the 21-day challenge to the community. And it was the most well-attended event that United Way of Pierce County has ever had. We had 836 participants, but it was all inspired by his work. And it caught fire across the country. And it's been done in so many different ways, but he and another person, I can't remember his colleague's name, but they created it and they implemented the first one. And it's such a privilege. So I can't wait.
We gonna figure out how, okay, because I sent him an email this morning actually, because he already said yes. He said yes. And so now we have to work out the details. And I really want him for us, because the People's Gathering is virtual, but I want him to come to Tacoma so that we have access to him, you know, like in person.
Well,
and so
I want to volunteer. I'm a volunteer to be on your team. Wherever you need me, I want to help.
Tamar, come
What's
on
up?
now. I need the follow-up.
Hey, you know what? I'm just sitting back, just listening, and you know, just the message, you know, definitely sits different with me. A few things. Understand, and you've heard me say it before, HR is the new red line. We talk about redlining and we talk about what it looks like for jobs. HR is redlining. HR has allowed itself to get who it wants, how it wants, and when it wants, and no one else can say anything about that. That's an opportunity that we have to change. So when we talked about DEAI, and for those that do not know, A is accessibility. DEI was never meant for white people. It was never made for white people to understand white people. DEI was meant for you to understand that there are other people around you that have the same qualifications as you. But with the accessibility, we ask with the privilege, what is the advantages that you are doing in giving accessibility to those that do not have the opportunities or the accessibilities to move up in some of you guys' areas as well. So when we are talking about what this change looks like, circling back to life-work balance, you all have an opportunity to change what this looks like. Do not become a slave to an organization because you feel that they are your paycheck. Everyone on this meeting is great at what they do. And as Miss Melannie said, you all have an opportunity, and Shelley said it, to quietly leave or stay and be miserable. But if you are miserable, then that means you are not integrating, you're assimilating because you feel that that is the only thing that you have. All of us are great at what we do. We took a break out of the last month to become greater as we get ready to move forward. This unit, the Collaboration for a Cause, the Lens of Equity, the Small Business Bureau, the Pierce County Community Engagement Task Force is a community. If your organization does not understand that, this group understands what community looks like and how we change this community. Yes, we are Pierce County, but trust me, we are national in what it is that we are doing. And every one of you guys are a part of what we are doing. Do not assimilate anymore. Take your time for you. Take care of your children. Take care of your surroundings. Take care of who is around you. But to be honest with you, be intimate and intentional with who you give your time and energy to. Not everyone deserves it. When we talk about racism, racism is not a touchy subject if you are not racist. It is not a touchy subject if you are not racist. And that does not mean to say, I'm not racist. That's an insult. Do the work, handle business. That is why we are here. All of us are on our different journeys. All of us are moving completely different. But we all have the power to see what it looks like and align ourselves to be great and align people around us to be even greater. So when we are talking about this work, we are talking about you individually. Reach out, talk, speak, surround yourself with greatness, because if we have to have these conversations every single day, you know what? It shakes people up. I have no problem being authentic. How you see me is how I will always be, whether in a suit or in Timberlands and a hoodie. I'm me. It does not matter. I've learned in my life, I've had the opportunity to show up, dread swinging, hat on, Timberland boots on, and a hoodie and doing my thing. And I'm still great because I believe in myself. So as Shelley has talked about it before, as Miss Melannie has talked about it, as Miss Narinda has talked about it, be who you are, because that's what God made. We all got 24 hours. Stop using the excuses on you can't. If you cannot, if you are still blaming it on them, you might want to find a new place to go. Evaluate the elevator before you get on and go up, period.
Woo, that was drop the mic. Oh my God, Tamar. Boom. Let me introduce one concept. Tamar got me thinking. I know we got to go. So if you're on your plantations and you're trying to figure out how to make a difference, let me give you this framework. There's entrepreneurship and there's intrapreneurship. Okay, intrapreneurship. And so the work I'm doing at PLU, like with the People's Gathering, the People's Golf Gathering, the People's Golf Gathering was amazing. You got to look that up. That was a new proof of concept that just blew everybody away. So we'll continue with that. But both of those are entrepreneurial opportunities, right? So they are revenue generating. They're revenue generating, and there's a clear line to where the money goes. And so people are able to see what their sponsorship dollars and what their good is happening. You know, for us, for the People's Gathering, it funds the food pantry. You know, who wouldn't want to fund the food pantry? You know, the proceeds go that way. It supports students of color. So think about that. Look up those concepts. You know, we hear entrepreneurial all the time, but then think about intrapreneur. And how can you be that person that is working to generate revenue? Another thing of measurement, these are the couple things that I forgot to tell you. Measuring your success, when I say your work-life balance. So you got your W-2, but let your inspiration be about how many 1099s you can collect. Okay, I was able to share that with Tim the other day. We were slapping, dapping everything on it. Like, how many 1099s can you collect in a season? Okay, because that's the part about valuing yourself and your expertise and the work that you are doing. Okay, do not get invested in somebody else's dream. And quietly quitting, as you know, is doing this. This is my urban translation, Shelly. Okay, I'm just saying what I know. Look at your job description. Understand what is required of you in your job description and do just that. Okay, the above and the beyond and the extra and I'm doing this and that and another. Let's go back to we only got the same 24 hours. Look at your job description. Understand what is required of you to not get fired. And do just that. And then the rest of it is your value. Let your people, employers, and you know good and well I'm speaking the truth. You trying to find people, so how are you pivoting and shifting to help employees know that they are valued, that they matter? So, child, just look at your job description and do that. And then take them other hours that you was giving away, right? And figure out how you're going to advance your mission. Your mission. That's all I got to say.
Okay. First of all, let's first of all, can we just give Miss Melannie Denise Cunningham a round of applause? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And wow. Miss Melannie, I just need you to look in the chat and see if there's any replies you want to make. It's a couple that came in, that last one after your most recent comment. But and I know we've lost some folks, but they did not leave without saying how amazing your presentation was and how impactful it was. And this is being recorded, so it will be shared back out. So whatever they did miss, those beautiful pearls of wisdom, right? Or as Narendra said, black pearls of wisdom were being dropped. They'll be able to capture that on the back end. So look, this is September. We are going into a new season, right? I said earlier that this was your season of harvest, right? So somebody's been planting, but also what I want you to understand, just because you planted it this year don't mean you're going to reap it this year. Whatever you reaping now is from stuff you planted earlier, last year before last, now because you've been doing the work. because you haven't settled. And I just want y'all to understand, a new hashtag was created and it hit me when you was talking, Miss Melannie. I wasn't built for basic. Hashtag, I wasn't built to be basic. So I don't know what you thought. I don't even understand it. I don't even understand it. If you want to be honest with yourself, if I want to be transparent, there was a moment when I felt like I was quietly quitting, but that is not the space I'm in. I'm in a space where I don't even have a job. I don't even know what that is. I don't have a job. And the reason I can say that is because I am in complete alignment with my assignment. So if you wasn't built for basic, all right, then you need to understand, and that means you understand your purpose, you understand your assignment, make the adjustments you need to make that are necessary in order for you to be fully in your purpose. And understand, if it is not in alignment with your assignment, learn to say no, no thank you, let me see about it. Whatever it is, you need to make sure you understand it. You were not built for basic. If you find yourself in that secret place of quietly quitting, feeling like that's where you're at, then you need to make those adjustments that you need to make and get there. Do the work to get there. The one thing that is a surrounding theme, time. Another surrounding theme, move. Another surrounding theme, it takes your action. Faith without works is what? Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there for you. And I wish you a wonderful day. Miss Melannie fell off. We lost her again, but we know we lost on a good note. Hopefully she'll be able to jump back on our, oh, there she go. But just so you understand, time, movement, action. I don't care about nothing else other than that. You weren't built for basic. Hashtag, we aren't built for basic. Not built for it. So y'all have a blessed month of September. Continue to plant because you will reap in due season. Continue to move forward. Continue to tap in. She done gave you access. She's giving you knowledge, information, everything. It's up to you to use it. Don't waste your time because we not wasting hers. And I definitely don't like wasting mine. So y'all be blessed. Leadership team, stay on here. Everyone else have a blessed month, and we will see you again in November.